January 12th, the most powerful card in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Many believe, even more powerful than Pot of Greed, is coming at 3. Book of Moon and its impact on the meta. Is it overhyped? Is it underhyped? No way, people are going hyped about this. Let's talk about this impact, top tier plays, advanced tips and tricks. This video is all about Book of Moon coming January 12th.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at him. Let's go.
Book of Moon, what is this? How is it so powerful? Is this a big debate? This is definitely not bait, and you will definitely learn something in this video, even if you are familiar with Book of Moon. We're going through Book of Moon in depth. This is a Book of Moon review. Quick play spell, target a face-up monster on the field, flip it face down into defense. This has a long history of being limited to 1 due to being so powerful. And link summoning, you can't even Book of Moon it. They had to hard code into the rulings that a link summon could not have Book of Moon be used on it because they don't even have a defensive value. And even apparently, when link summoning was most prominent, I think it still is right now, Book of Moon was still a really good card, even though it couldn't even be used on a link summon. That's insane. I am not familiar with that, though. I have not link summoned. Simply flip any monster, including your own, face down. So right away you're thinking, oh, Canadia does the same thing, but you cannot use Canadia the first turn you draw it, and it's susceptible to back row. So the obvious benefits of Book of Moon are quick play spells, generally better than a trap if they have the same effect, and they pretty much do. Can be used the turn you draw it. Well, it is a spell, quick play spell. And as I just said, less susceptible to back row removal like Cosmic Cyclone. Also, it has the additional effect of can be used on your own monster. Some advanced benefits are can be used to counter Karma Cut, the most used card in Duel Links. Karma Cut, you discard a card to banish an opponent's monster and all copies of that monster from their graveyard also. So if you chain Book of Moon to Karma Cut, the monster does not get banished. And if you don't understand that, we'll get to the terminology and how to figure out if a card needs to remain face up or if it goes face down if the effect still goes through. Big commitments that get Karma Cut can now be protected easily. They use Karma, they have to discard, you just Book of Moon, you're safe. Now, you're also probably thinking, Forbidden Lance versus Book of Moon. Forbidden Lance protected me from Karma Cut, what's the deal? Well, Book has dual purpose. It could protect your monster and disrupt your opponent. Lance will generally just protect your monster. So now you got two purposes. Basically, it could be better than Lance in many situations and does the same thing as Lance in many situations. So for example, Fivagus, King Artorgus in Noble Knights, being Karma Cut hurts badly because it floats when being sent to the graveyard. There are a lot of effects that need to be sent to the graveyard. That is why the Karma Cut is so good. So Book of Moon to protect any card that gets countered by Karma Cut, Book of Moon's gonna be that much better. So will Karma Cut fall as the most played card to now Book of Moon being the most played card? We'll see. Here are things that could be countered. Fiendish Chain, Floodgate, Super Team Buddy Force Unite. These are within the top 5, top 10 most used traps of the game. So Fiendish Chain, your monster will not be negated if you chain your Book of Moon to the Fiendish Chain attempting to negate your monster. Or you already have a Fiendish Chain on your monster, Book of Moon it, and it's no longer affected by the Fiendish Chain, then you can flip it back up if it was previously summoned. So it's a good way to un-Fiendish Chain yourself and be chained to Fiendish Chain. You could chain it to Floodgate, and you're no longer permanently face down. Because if the Floodgate actually resolves on your monster, you're stuck face down for many more turns. Just chain the Book of Moon if you feel that's the right moment to do so, and then you can flip it up next turn. And Super Team Buddy Force Unite. It targets a monster, then summons a monster from the hand or the graveyard. Book of Moon will stop it. And it will be a big strategic battle of, are they setting Book of Moon or are they holding Book of Moon in the hand? Do I wait to use Super Team Buddy Force Unite in their end phase or do I wait till my turn? Are they trying to outplay me with their Book of Moon? So this should be very interesting, and I will have advanced tips on how to play around this when you see some top tier dueling with Book of Moon. Book of Moon can be used with the balance skill, With 6 monster spell and trap in your deck, you're guaranteed to open up a monster spell and trap if you're playing 20 cards. So right now, popular balance cards are Enemy Controller and Forbidden Lance. Balance right now can't guarantee a double disruption with your guaranteed spell, trap, and monster ratios. They seemingly have been going out of their way to prevent you from having disruption like Legacy Clash and Enemy Controller, so that maybe because of balance, that's maybe why Legacy Clash and Econ are semi-limited. So now you could play Econ with Book of Moon and balance, and you'll be close to having a guaranteed disruption, which will be your spell. You have 5, so there could be a 6th one that's not disruption, and then you're gonna have a trap. So with balance, you'll have a trap, and Book of Moon plus Econ could help you basically be a second trap. That's gonna make balance a lot better, and a deck like Goki will possibly be abusing it. They're probably gonna play 3 Book and 3 Necro Valley maybe. Then we have Spell Specialist. If your deck contains 5 or more spells with different names, you have an increased chance to open up a spell, and I have the math for you. So for example, in a deck where we have 3 Book of Moon and then 1 of every other spell, I just numbered them, they could be whatever they want, you have a 95.6% chance to open up a spell in a 20-card deck, which is a 62% chance to open up Book of Moon itself. If you don't play Spell Specialist, then it's a 50% chance to open up Book of Moon. And Witchcrafter is a deck that will possibly be playing Book of Moon and Spell Specialist, but not at these ratios. This is just to show you the math. And then we have reusing the effects of monsters with Book of Moon. How does that work? Well, if previous turn summoned, use your once per turn effect, Book of Moon it face down, then flip it up and activate that effect again. So here are popular once per turn effects where you could abuse that. And here's a little combo. Sample play. You're going to special summon the Petalfin during your opponent's end phase, which is normally when you do special summon it. Your turn, you're going to activate it to return a card back to the hand. You will Book of Moon it, then flip it back up, then return a second card back to the hand, which we know will lead into a third and possibly a fourth with See You Later. So that is just an example of abusing Book of Moon with a once per turn effect. Another good card to abuse Book of Moon with is Alternative White Dragon. What you're going to do is normally you will be summoning a Blue Eyes White Dragon during your opponent's end phase thanks to the Ancients. Then you're going to use your Alt Evo skill to turn your Blue Eyes into an Alternative White Dragon, pop a card, Book of Moon it, flip it back up, pop a second card if you have Book of Moon. So that is a nice little double pop combo that I think could happen quite frequently, right? You're summoning Blue Eyes White Dragon during your opponent's end phase. And here's a funny non-competitive combo, but maybe this could break a card. Think about this. You normal summon Gale or any other monster that has a once per turn effect. You have a monster in the field. Then we Book of Moon it. Then we activate Neos Fusion, sending an AD changer from the deck to the graveyard, then use AD changer to flip up whatever you Book of Mooned, in this case it is a Gale, then activate the effect again. So I need your great minds in the comments section below. What would be the best combo with the Neos Fusion AD changer Book of Moon? I'm sure Gale is not the best way to abuse this, so you let me know. Also, we have reusing flip effects. Well, right now, flip effects are not that popular besides Invoker itself. Here are some cards that say flip, and they are quite popular. Even though you see Tin Duke here, it's being used in extra decks, but not really being summoned. Book of Moon any of these to reuse their flip, as long as they're not being destroyed by battle, that is. You cannot have them attacking your monster, flip up, then Book of Moon in the damage step, then flip it back down, then flip back up. That's not how it works. If they're not destroyed, it's normally going to be you're just flipping it up, then Book of Moon it back down, and then you have double destruction with Raikou, double search with Invoker. Book of Moon could maybe revive an older deck type like Subterror that uses flip effects, so that could be a very interesting idea. And also a funny idea could be if Book of Moon becomes so popular, you could just play a Subterror Behemoth in any deck, because when your monster gets flipped face down on Chainlink 1, that is, not Chainlink 2, and you control no other face-up monsters, you could just special summon the Behemoth from your hand, then through its own effect, you can flip it face down, then when it's flipped face up, banish a monster on the fields. That could be some really funny Book of Moon counterplay, but like I said, if it's not on Chainlink 1, then it will miss the timing, and if this actually became popular, people would just get smarter with their Book of Moon usage to make it miss the timing. Now, here are some top-tier deck counterplays. Your opponent has a Desperado Barrel Dragon. They activate their effect to pop 1 to 3 face-up monsters on the field. You have one monster. You Book of Moon your monster. Your monster's face down. They have a face-up Desperado that activated. Guess what happens? They have to pop their Desperado. You did not just protect your monster, you also forced them to destroy their own Desperado as long as they get at least one heads, which is an 85%+, I think 87.5% chance that they will destroy at least one face-up monster. You don't get to see the coin flips first before booking. You book a moon first, and probably with Master Destiny and the math being in your favor, they're going to pop their Desperado. Another top-tier counter is going to be, for example, with Witchcrafters. If they have Shmeta or any of the other smaller Witchcrafters, usually they like to end with a Shmeta instead of a Madame because they want more fuel for their graveyard. They also want to be able to jump off the field if you have an effect that could deal with the Madame, so they get to wait with the Madame summon. So what you need to do is, if you're quick or preemptive, you need your toggle on. So you could book a moon in the draw phase, then they could not chain their effect to summon a Madame in the draw phase. So basically, that's what you're looking like if you're actually toggling on in the draw phase to book a moon a Witchcrafter. So if you're a Witchcrafter player, you're thinking, is my opponent a sweaty try-hard gamer that's going to book a moon your Witchcrafter in the draw phase, and should you even play around that? Is it safe to summon your Shmeta? Maybe it's not. You got to go right into the Madame. For example, a really funny play with Black Wings could be Synchro into your Raikiri. And what does Raikiri do? It's going to pop cards on the field equal to other Black Wings you control. So you could have an Orochi on the field special summoned, pop 2 cards, then book a moon your Raikiri face down after popping 2 cards. Then you could Synchro into whatever you want. The Orochi is going to activate, flipping up your Raikiri, and then you could, with the yugioh, summon this back in the field, and then pop 2 more cards in the field. So Book a Moon and a Roshi combo. Thank you, Twitch chat, for that idea. That's another spicy way to abuse Book a Moon. The advanced use example of how to use Book a Moon aggressively, in addition to what you just saw with Black Wings, this could be a little funny idea. You could drop your equips in Noble Knights whenever you want to re-equip them onto another monster. Now, do make sure that your equips were not already destroyed that turn and re-equipped. It can only be done the first time they're being destroyed. So here is a sample field. We're attacking with the Majorat equipped with a Destiny, taking out a set monster. We're Book a Mooning our own monster to lose the equip. Then the equip's going to re-equip onto the Dristan because it was destroyed, because you lost the person it was equipped onto. Now the Dristan will activate, get pop in, and then that is just an example of using Book a Moon to drop your equips to re-equip whenever you want. You could do that with an Excalibur to shift your plus 1000 attack onto another monster, or as you saw here, trigger the effect of Dristan. A simple benefit of Book a Moon could be, you see this quite common against a Master Destiny deck. They have a Machina Fortress, they have a Misjudge, they searched for it by discarding a Desperado. Well, now Book a Moon could very simply, it's not a super advanced play, it could just eat up a negate. So you just Book a Moon and it will eat up a negate, and that is a good way to not be completely countered on your first turn play. Here's the general impact of Book a Moon versus top tier decks. Desperado, these are all the cards that are going to be affected by the Book a Moon. It will stop the Super Team, the Karma Cut, the Misjudge. You could chain it versus the Desperado to make them destroy their own monster. If they have a gear frame equipped onto the Fortress, you flip down the Fortress, they lose the gear frame, they lose the Destruction Protection. You could chain to the Blast Spider, so they will not be destroying a face-up Dark Machine, or you could just use it before they activate the effect of Blast Spider. And also, we talked about you could just chain this to a Chainlink 1 destruction effect to prevent the summon of Desperado. So if they have a Dark Machine and you're destroying it on Chainlink 1, chain Book a Moon so now it's face down, because the Desperado needs a face-up Dark Machine to be destroyed in order to summon. Now, this does not work when attacking. If the monster is face up, then you flip it down, then you attack it, it flips back up, that will summon a Desperado. Now, Noble Knights, the equips fall off. All these equips fall off. That's the main purpose of Book a Moon against Noble Knights. If you chain Book a Moon to the activation of an equip, the equip does not get destroyed. So it does not activate in the graveyard. So if you think you're a super top tier smart player with your toggle on, you're waiting for the equip to resolve, then you book a moon, you just destroyed the equip when it could have been sent to the graveyard and not destroyed, and now could re-equip onto something else on the field. They could even chain their trap in the graveyard to summon a Noble Knight from the deck after you activating Book of Moon, but not if you properly use Book of Moon in response to the activation of the equip, not on the resolution. Now, pro Noble Knight, they're going to like Book of Moon because Karma Cut hurts Noble Knights. I'm not saying they're definitely going to play Book of Moon because it does conflict with them having a near guaranteed chance of opening up an equip card with their Noble Knight. But if they do have room for the Book of Moon in addition to their equip, they're not going to fear Karma Cut as much. Protect yourself from Karma Cut. We know that hurts the deck a lot. So as I said here, that's a problem with playing the Book of Moon. Invokes Neos. Karma Cut, Fiendish Chain. The Brave Neos has destruction protection, so flip it face down if you want to destroy it with a card effect. Now, you could use your Invoker multiple times. You could flip it up, Book of Moon it back down. That could be very good. Also, if your opponent activates a Lance onto your Invoker, you can't Lance a Lance. You could Book of Moon the Lance, then your Invoker will properly get banished after activating the invocation. So that is quite popular against a good player where Lance will be used against your Invoker to stop your fusion. Very good. Could also be chained to the Karma Cut. And it also just has general synergy with Purgatrio. A monster's face down in defense, you now have piercing damage. Witchcrafter, we talked about this. Draw phase toggle on, flip any of these monsters down so they cannot activate. They can only activate in your main phase, not your draw phase. Now, pro Witchcrafter, they're going to love this card. They hate Karma Cut, especially if they have multiple Mad Dams in the graveyard and they don't have a Patronus to return the Mad Dams back in the deck. That's an auto lose for them. So if you could chain Book of Moon to the Karma Cut or, use it against a Fiendish Chain that goes onto your Mad Dam, that could be very annoying. And also Animaru likes to be summoned against a Witchcrafter deck, which is 6,000 attack. If you flip it down and then it gets flipped back up, it loses that 6,000 attack. So it's going to go back down to 3K and not really be a threat for Mad Dam. Black Wings, it counters the search. We already know that. You flip them down when they try to search with a Whirlwind. It also clogs up their fields when committing with either a Simoon or an Orochi. You could flip down the Orochi. Then what are they going to do? They can only play one Orochi. Now they have a Simoon in the field. They can't really do anything with it. And then also you saw the previous Blackwing play with the Orochi and Book of Moon on your Raikiri to reuse Raikiri. That's a crazy play. More general counters and uses, for example, Samurai Destroyer has to leave the field while face up to get the effect to summon a monster from the graveyard. So if you Book of Moon it, then remove it off the field or destroy it, it will not get the effect. Another good idea is Offerings to the Doomed. If they activate it against your monster, you could flip it face down and it will not be destroyed. So generally, if you want to understand why it's like that, it is target versus it. I want you to memorize this. Target versus it. So if a card says target a face up, destroy that target, it means it must remain face up. So an example of that kind of terminology would be the Karma Cut. Book of Moon counters it. Then you have target a face up, destroy it. Since it's not specifying destroy the target, it does not need to remain a face-up target, it just says destroy it. So Book of Moon will not stop the Black Ship of Corn, and also a really good example is Wielder. Wielder says target a monster with less attack than what you synchroed for, then destroy it. You would think that if you flip it face down, it's no longer less attack, it's just not even there anymore, and so it wouldn't get destroyed. Well, wrong. The targeting requirement needed to be less attack, and the resolution is just destroy it, whether it's face up or face down, so that's a really good example. And then we have enemy controller says must target a face up, and book does counter it because it says target during the resolution. It says change the target's battle position or take control of the target. Now, enemy controller could have been confusing. It could have said change the target's battle position or take control of it. That means if the monster were to be Book of Moon, the battle position change effect would not work, but the controller effect would work if it said it, but it both says target and target. Here are the chat predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments and also in the Twitch chat right now. Is Book of Moon overhyped or is it really that good? And here we go, 69% believe it's really that good. We have 109 fools saying it's overhyped. Now, January 16th is not the release of Book of Moon, but that is when it will be the true test of Book of Moon's power at 1 p.m. EST, Saturday, January 16th, will be a $1,400 plus MCS tournament, global event, the best from Europe, Japan, Asia, America, Canada, Brazil, the entire world is going to be here at the $1,400 tournament. And if you didn't know, Book of Moon's coming from a selection box, January 12th. Have at it.